Yes. People, what's going on? Zeke talks about back again with another video. Arsenal just played, what do you call it? Girona away in the Champions League for the final game of the group stages, and the league phase. I mean, and we did quite well, to be fair. Arsenal have beaten Girona 2-1, and we have won 6 out of our 8 Champions League games. We've drawn one, lost one, finishing third in the league phase, and Arsenal are cruising in the Champions League. It's safe to say this has been a relatively comfortable group stage for league phase for Arsenal. We have done so well. Arsenal have done so well in the Champions League this season. Defensively, only conceding 3 goals in 8 games. Offensively, getting a total of 16 goals, almost exactly 2 goals a game, pretty much at that rate. We've done it with injuries, with Martin Odegaard being out at times, Saka being out, Saliba missing games. We've done it with perseverance. We've done it with youngsters. You've seen Miles Lewis Skelly get game time. You've seen Ethan, first Champions League game starting. He gets his first Champions League goal. Big up to Ethan, man. That kid is special. He's going straight to the top. Genuinely believe it from the bottom of my heart. That kid is going straight to the top. He is unbelievable. And we also have to talk about Ollie Watkins, the bid. There's some crazy stuff there. But before we go any further, let me bring my boy in, Deo. Deo, what's good, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it definitely has been a minute.
It's been a minute, bro.
It's been a minute. Bro, there was some crazy stuff today, man. There was some crazy stuff today. Before we get on to the game, do you want to talk quickly about the transfers? Because did you hear what happened
with Ollie Watkins and the bid rejected and all that?
Bro, it was mad. Basically, well, one second, everything is normal, business as usual. We're talking about referees and their stupidness, and then out of nowhere, this was broken. This broke 5 hours ago, around like 6 p.m. Arsenal have approached Aston Villa. Apparently, this was back on Monday with a fee in the region of 60 million. No agreement, no decision. Aston Villa and the players' representatives are in advanced talks with Arsenal. And Ollie Watkins obviously wants to join Arsenal. He's an Arsenal fan. Aston Villa wants Joao Felix. Aston Villa want to sell one of their forwards, be it Ollie Watkins or thing. So Arsenal put a surprise bid. It was a long shot. Arsenal tried their best, put 60 million on the table. But what happened is that didn't happen. There's also the situation with Tell. Tell wants to be loaned out. Chelsea, he said no to them. He apparently wants Manchester United. Tottenham are not willing to pay the loan fee, and Arsenal would be interested in him. But the situation with Ollie Watkins got messed up because Villa are also looking to see if they can sell John Duran. And Al Nassr have come out and said they want John Duran, and they're willing to pay 75 million euros. So basically, with the fact that they're willing to pay 75 million euros for John Duran, that basically leaves Villa with just Ollie Watkins as their main striker, and John Duran leaving opens the door for Ollie Watkins to stay and be the main man. So that's not going to happen. And Aston Villa are not happy with the timing that Arsenal approached for Ollie Watkins' deal, as this was just before a huge game tonight, and believe that Ollie Watkins would have been open to the move if the two groups agreed to the deal. And Aston Villa were kind of stunned by the approach just before a couple days before the deadline, and they openly rejected the bid. 60 million pounds for Ollie Watkins has been rejected from Aston Villa, who do not want to sell. And then 2 minutes later, we get the lineups.
I mean, yeah. I look. Here's the thing about it. It's the last few days to the window closes, and you should make a move for good strikers. They turned down the bid. I mean, we didn't. That's the kind of thing that you expected. And this is when people say, like, Arsenal doesn't move like a big club. This is how big clubs move. Basically, Aston Villa turned down the bid. You get a 60 million, we want your striker. You say, no, all right, cool. We'll move on to the next person. This simply tells me that Arsenal has 60 million to spend right now. If you can go ahead and bid, and that's the part that makes me happy to know that we literally have this money. So add another 10, add another 15, and go get your crush. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know that this money is available now because you are willing to pay 60. If Aston Villa had accepted the bid, we would have just paid 60 million for Ollie Watkins right now. So that tells me that we do have money to spend this January. So I think looking for the right striker is key. Ollie Watkins would have been great because we create a lot of chances, and half those chances that Havertz is missing, Ollie Watkins puts away. If we create that many chances for him. But since he's not coming, we'll look at who's next. And I think I understand where Aston Villa is coming from. They have John Duran, who is being chased by the Saudis, and Saudis have money, and they can't allow John Duran to go to Al Nassr and then Ollie Watkins goes to Arsenal. They would have no striker, and they basically had today just qualified, for the round of 16 in the Champions League. So they're also looking at their chances of staying in that competition for a long time. So I don't see them selling any of their top guys. But I like the fact that we were able to, walk in there and say, here's 60 million. Because that's the value for Ollie Watkins right now that I think it's a good asking price. So we do have the money to spend. I hope we go ahead and trigger somebody's release clause somewhere and just bring somebody in before the window closes. So that's good for us.
And you know what? Don't forget, guys like Ian Wright signed for Arsenal late in their career and became legends. So it's never too late for a player to make that big move. I think if he did join, he would definitely be. He's been a thorn in our side. At least he won't be that anymore. Yeah, minimum. And I think he's an absolute baller. I think he's a clinical player. He would definitely be a level up to what we currently have to our disposal, and he could be a level raiser. But
but they've rejected the bid, so I don't think that they'll, because the thing now is Arsenal are now going to want to play negotiation power. If for some reason John Duran is not going to go to Saudi, let's say the Saudi deal falls through and he's unable to go, and then they're like, all right, let's move Ollie on. We need to get Yao Felix. Let's move Ollie on, and they come back to Arsenal. Arsenal will be like, well, we came to you with 60. You said no, so we want to pay 55 now. That's where that's where the haggling starts.
I don't think they're gonna come back to us once they've gotten rid of John Duran. It's basically like,
I said if they don't get I said if the Saudi deal does not go through, if for some reason John Duran does not leave, which means John Duran is going to stay, which means that they won't mind at that point if they really need the money to say, okay, let Ollie go to Arsenal for 60 because we have John Duran who will be our striker. You see what I'm saying? But if John Duran leaves, then they're not going to do that deal. They're not going to do the deal. I mean, the Saudi deal has not gone through yet for John Duran. Saudi like him. They want him, but they haven't. There's rumors that they want to make a bid for 75 million euros. That's just about the same, okay, it's been confirmed then. If it's been confirmed.
David Ornstein did tweet that the deal is gonna happen. Do you want me to pull it up?
I mean, I guess so. Then we'll see. So then if that deal is going to happen, then they're not going to do the Ollie Watkins deal. I mean,
you know what? Let's read the language that's used. John Duran is set for a medical in London on Thursday before proposal for Aston Villa Al Nassr. Yep. So there's a medical booked. Arsenal approached for Ollie Watkins, but we couldn't get it done in time.
Yeah. I mean, John Duran is going. If he's going, then they're not going to sell Ollie Watkins. I mean, no sane club will sell their two strikers at the same time. You see what I'm saying? And so I guess we'll have to. But the good thing is we were willing to put down what, 60 million pounds? Is that not what we offered?
I didn't think they would be a selling club, to be fair.
I mean, it's not even just about Aston Villa. The fact that we were able to approach them and say, here, 60 million pounds in January tells me that we have money to spend. So let's just spend this money and just get the right striker at the end of the day.
I know, but the thing is the right player. They're not just going to spend it on anybody. That's the thing.
I know. That's why I said, let's just get the right person. Was Ollie the right person for us? None of us actually looked at him because this season he hasn't been the greatest. But if we have 60 million pounds, then let's just add an extra 15 million, 75 million pounds, which is going to be about 80 million euros, and go get Gyökeres. It's like, it's not that hard. It's like, here, if you have 60 million to put down right now, add an extra 15, make it 75 million pounds. Go to Sporting and say, here's 60 million down payment. We'll pay 15 over the next 3 years. Gyökeres, come here.
You know what?
So
we're gonna have to get back to this another time. Let's first talk about.
Can I do something real quick? There's people in the comments that just don't have any common sense. PR or no PR, we're discussing it, and because we're discussing it, because it's out there in the news, whether it's PR, whether he's coming, whether he's not coming, these are all opinions. To sit there behind your keyboard just because you have free internet, or you're sitting somewhere outside a cafe using somebody's internet for free, to come up here and tell people to shut up is just it's very dumb, right? So try to act like an adult, or maybe you're not.
You know what? I was gonna ask next about what you think about the Neto's debut. Neto's
Neto.
Neto's debut was
I think we just needed a goalkeeper. That's why we got him. I think we just needed a second goalkeeper. We had to get somebody. But sadly, man, what was he doing for that? Like, why were you out? Why? You know what? This game for me
bro,
today.
can I pull up the image quickly? Can I
Yeah,
pull up the image quickly? Because this is hilarious. I honestly have no idea what on earth Neto was doing. Can you see my screen right now?
no, not yet, not yet.
Okay. This was where Neto was, his positioning for the opening goal. Safe to say, he had a
Like what?
howler.
Like what were you doing out? That's what I'm like. What were you doing
On top of
outside
that,
your
on top of
18
that, he
yard
tried
box?
to save it. He tried to save it with his hands.
Like what were you doing outside your 18-yard box? Like I'm telling you, like when I saw this, I was like, Neto, oh man. But yeah, he
And
just
also, I just want to highlight, we don't know if it was offside or not, but Thomas Partey playing right back once again. That's another issue. We need to
it's not
stop
an
doing.
it's not an issue. I think we're overflogging this thing. And again, sometimes you because look at the squad. The squad is thin. You have to play and you have to rest players. There's a lot of games coming up. This game, win or lose, we were going to be in the top 8. Win or lose, regardless. We were in the round of 16. So for me, this was a game where this is the type of game where you can play Thomas Partey right back. This is not a win. This was not a do or die game. So if at any time a manager wants to try out, this is the game where he should have tried it out, and not in those
Okay,
other games where we
let
needed to.
me just quickly talk about it. Neto, terrible debut. We're not gonna spend too much time on him. Kivior,
I
not
think
really
he
gonna
did well.
spend too not gonna
I think
spend
he
too
did
much
well.
time
He
on
played
him.
well.
I thought he played well. Thomas Partey right back got burned for the opening goal, but fair enough. The goalkeeper really did not help him at all. You know what? Calafiori might be our best finisher. We speak about Gabriel being a good finisher. These two might be our best finisher in this team.
When you say best,
Gabriel
that's not you mean like when they're in front of goal.
in front of goal, Calafiori, he had a shot that he finished quite well. That first goal. Luckily, it was luckily for Girona, it was offside, but or it was ruled out. But
And today, did you notice something that Mikel, the instruction that Mikel gave, and even that the captain himself, Odegaard, did? When we got a penalty, who did they give it to? The person
Jorginho,
who has the most experience. Jorginho's last 23 goals have been penalties. His last 23 goals, and he scored every single one of them. So if ever you are in that position, like that's who you want to put. If there's no Bukayo Saka on the pitch, you want to play to your strength, and use your players the way that they are, where their strength is really strong. So Jorginho in penalties, yes, um, I think that's just the way to go. I mean, but today's game, honestly speaking,
Jorginho, to be fair, he's a world class penalty taker.
he
He,
is, he is.
he's one of the best penalty takers, and we probably should have given him the penalty versus Manchester United.
Yeah, we should have done that. But I mean, in hindsight, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But I mean, going forward, this game was a game where it was a thing of, come on, let's just do what we need to do here and not rest players. I wouldn't have even brought in Kai Havertz. I wouldn't have brought in any of them. I'd have just let the team run through and just play what they needed to play for this game. Nwaneri starting, great debut. I mean, great goal. Like, and then I hate what the press is doing and the media. Immediately he scored that goal. Oh, just like how Saka cuts in, he's doing his best impression of Saka. It's so stupid to just say he's doing his best
Nah,
impression.
bro. But the thing is,
He's
it
playing his own
was
game.
it was a beautiful goal, and it is very similar to what Bukayo Saka
But
would
Saka,
do.
but Saka is not the one that invented that move. It's just the
No,
move.
I know.
Exactly. But when people, I
Okay,
think
so
it's
should
no,
we
no.
compare
So
him to
here,
Ian Robin?
no, just to say that is how a professional footballer at that age, playing like a fully grown adult with experience, a 17-year-old who already understands how to cut in, push the ball on his left feet, create a half a yard for himself, and bend the ball to the bottom corner. That's what we're talking about. But they start saying, "Oh, he's doing his best impression of Saka," as if that's what he's trying. It's so annoying because they take that takes away from what this kid is doing. It just takes away from how good the kid is, and it are not like I don't like to hear stuff like that. Bukayo Saka did not invent cutting in on your left foot and bending the ball into the bottom corner of the goalpost. He didn't invent it. Players have done it for years. Nobody says Saka is doing his best impression of Arjen Robben, or nobody says Robben is doing his best impression of Bebeto, or any of these older players. All of a sudden, this kid is doing what he's supposed to do at 17, playing like he's been playing for like 15 years, the way he's playing, the way he controls the ball, the way he moves, and suddenly somebody turns around and says, "Oh, he's doing it." It's disingenuous.
Dale,
It's
Dale,
annoying.
Dale, understand that he scored in his Champions League debut. He got man of the match.
Yeah, and that's all I care about, man.
In his
I'm
in his,
happy
cha-
for him.
in his debut start for Arsenal in the Champions League, he got man of the match. Also, do you know he is 2 goal contributions behind Cesc Fabregas at the same age? He's also, if I'm not mistaken, like 6 off. Sorry, he's 9 off what Thing was doing. Let me show you this because we're going to talk about Sterling in a second now, Mattis. I see your super chat. Goal contributions for an Arsenal 17-year-old. Number 1, Saka. Number 2, Cesc Fabregas. Number 3, Ethan Nwaneri. You got to give him credit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this kid is, for his age, he's phenomenal. He's going nowhere else but the top. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, this boy doesn't get injuries and he doesn't get derailed by whatever it is that the media does. But the truth is, they're already trying to spin a narrative about him that I think is annoying, which is this: oh, he likes to play on the right like Saka. Saka's best. He's doing his Saka's best impression. They're literally just trying to belittle what this kid is doing at 17. I don't see anybody talking about what's his name in Barcelona is the 17-year-old Lamine Yamal is doing, saying, oh, Lamine Yamal is doing his best impression of so person.
Bro, they do.
No. They just talk about they just chat about how good Lamine Yamal is. They're like, he is so phenomenal on that right wing. He is amazing. That's all they ever do in the press. But when it comes to another
people
player,
compare Lamine to Neymar already.
Yeah, but that means you're comparing him to a great, right? You're saying Lamine Yamal is doing great stuff like what Neymar did, right? I understand that, but they're not comparing his technique on the pitch and saying, "Oh, Lamine Yamal cutting on his left foot and scoring."
I've seen him compared to Messi. What are you talking about?
I haven't. Yeah,
I've seen him compared to Messi. Like,
if they compare you to Messi as regards to your entire play, I'm talking about a player cutting on his left foot, bends the ball like any player who's good on their left feet are cutting and bends the ball in is not copying another player. That's a technique. My thing is the media shouldn't be saying that nonsense.
I don't mind it. I like the comparisons. I think it's a good, fair comparison. But let's talk about Sterling quickly, as my man wants to talk about Sterling. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. I thought he was having a relatively decent game. Am I being harsh? Am I being nice? Am I being too nice?
No, he had a decent. It's a decent game. Look, we feel that the team today that. For me, I think Arteta was just like, just don't lose the game. Like, if you want to draw, just don't lose the game. I think that's what Arteta felt that. He was like, we don't really need to go ham in this game because it's not going to make a difference in the next round.
My man says Sterling should never play again.
Nah, that's just
we have no choice. Matis, we have no choice. We really have no choice. You look at our options. Do we have a choice to be like, Sterling, you can't play again? We need him.
It's either that or we play our first team players and then we still have another game to play again and they don't get any rest. So we need to rotate players. And again, this is the type of game, like I said, it's Girona. It's our last game of the Champions League league phase, whatever they call it in the Champions League now. It's the last game. It wasn't a do or die game. This is where you play the Netos and the Sterlings and tell them, hey, just don't lose. And the fact that we could go on to win that game. I mean, we beat Man City 2.0. This is Man City's junior brother, Man City Junior, Girona. The fact that we could beat Man City Junior with our very, fallible team that we put out there, then yeah. I mean, that first goal, Raya would never have been outside there.
Oh, never.
And if Neto had caught that ball outside, did he realize that was a red card?
What was he thinking? He's actually on drugs. I think he's on drugs.
No, he's not. It's the jitters. You haven't played in a long time as a goalie. You've not played in the game. You're finding
people are saying give him a break. People are saying give him a break, but I hear it. But at the same time, it is very concerning that that's your first performance. So we spoke about Jorginho. We spoke about Ethan. Is there anybody else we need to speak about? We spoke about Sterling. Let's speak about the actual Champions League itself, bro. We've done really well. We've done really well. You got to give us credit in how we've done. and how we've navigated the competition. Arteta's done a really good job navigating the competition. 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. That is almost spotless. We've almost had a spotless campaign in the Champions League.
I mean,
Almost a spotless campaign. Look at that. If I would have told you we would have finished third in the group, third in the league phase, ahead of the likes of Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, all these clubs, and we would have only lost 1 game and had 1 draw and won everything else, this is exactly what you need Arsenal to do. The 2
I
away
mean,
games where we drop points.
It's a good run, and now we get to the point where it's the knockout phase, and we just have to basically go in there, and game management is going to be key going forward in the Champions League. We did face some decent opposition here: Inter Milan, PSG, Atalanta. Those are decent opposition. Monaco is a decent team as well. Sporting is also a decent team. I mean, it's not that there are these guys are no pushovers. So yeah, I think we did pretty well. Nobody would have given us a chance to be third. I know the only reason why a lot of people still try to talk down on this Arsenal team is because the trophies have not.
Old takes.
It's because the trophies are not there. Because if you look at the records, right, we've lost 13 games in our last 100 games. Arsenal has, under Mikel Arteta's last 100 games, we've lost only 13 games.
Last 100.
Last 100 games, we've lost 13.
Where did you find this stat?
Go look at the records. Just pull it up.
Arsenal in their last 13 games.
We've lost 13. We've drawn quite a bit. There's a bit
Arsenal's last 100 games. We've only had 13 defeats.
Yeah, 13 defeats. And that's not, that's a decent team. So for me, it's the trophies now that matter. It's like you can be that decent, but if you don't match it with trophies, then it doesn't count. I mean, the last time we lost at the Emirates in the league was to Aston Villa last season. Remember? That was the last time we lost at the Emirates. To Aston Villa. I'm not talking about the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. I'm saying that in the league. In the league, the last time we lost at the Emirates was to Aston Villa, and that's been crazy. That's last season. The second half of last season, we did 18 games, 16 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
So Mikel Arteta's Arsenal have only 13 losses in their last 100 games.
Yep, I saw the stat today. Let me look for it again.
That's crazy. So how many of those are draws? That's the question.
No, there's a lot of there's a lot of draws in there. There is a lot of. You can't. But I'm talking about the defeats though.
And in the Champions League, what's Arteta's record? Arteta's record.
I haven't looked at that record in the Champions League, but I know. Okay, let's see. Win, loss, win, draw. There's a bunch of draws. I mean, there's quite a bit of draws in there and a bit of wins, but at the end of the day, it's like the losses are minimal. So that's a good thing for me. Like, I just think that we just need to not add, trophies to it. So, most importantly.
Fair enough. Let's go on to the actual player ratings and league phase quickly. By the way, Man City went through, right?
Yeah, Man City went through. They scraped through. They came 22nd, and they're going to play. The Man City is probably going to play they're going to play Celtic probably, and if they win, they're going to play the winner of Madrid Bayern.
Wow.
Yeah. So Man City is either going to play Bayern or Madrid eventually.
So Arsenal are going to play. Arsenal potentially in the round of in the quarterfinal opponent, if we win our round of 16 tie, could face either Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen, or Celtics in the quarterfinals. But in the round of 16, we're going to face either AC Milan, PSV, Feyenoord, or Juventus.
Yeah,
those are not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, from what I saw, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's
a whole UEFA Champions League predictor. Did you see it? I honestly think the bracket situation doesn't make sense because it's not the same as like NBA brackets. it's quite complicated. It's quite complicated. If I show you before we do player ratings, if I just show you this, where is it? Is there even a point of doing player ratings today? I just feel like everyone bar two players did bad. Everyone bar two players did good. So yeah, so that those are our four teams that we could potentially face, right?
Okay,
And
there we
these
go.
and these are the four and these are the teams that
Yeah,
we
so
could.
this is what I was saying. Like Celtic and City will play, and they would play the winner of Madrid or Bayern, and that winner would come here. Oof. And then
So
Athletic, Atletico Madrid and Leverkusen. Dang,
fair enough.
that is
Sterling
that.
played better than Trossard tonight. Yeah.
Uh, I, I mean, we played Trossard as a 9, to be honest, today. So
By the way, we play Man
not the
City
best.
next. Did today's performance for Man City versus Club Brugge give you some confidence for the Emirates game?
I mean, I'm confident that we should win that game, not because City is bad or whatever it is, but because we found a way to just realize that we have to win games going forward
You know
without
what?
without our best players on the pitch.
Since our game is on Sunday, I'm gonna need you for a preview. Me, you, Hamza, and like somebody else, like Vader or something. It's gonna be good. But yeah, quickly. Neto 4,
Yeah, Neto 0, man.
Partey 6.
Partey, I'll give him a 6.
Oh
Yeah,
wait, he won the penalty
I'll
also,
give him
so
I'll give him
7.
a 6.5.
7. He won the penalty also. You got to give him credit
And
today.
and again, because I tried to be fair to players who have played out of position and hold that one and then still add it to the game. So he won the penalty. He's played out of position. He's playing that role almost he tried in right back, even though the goal came through him. But that goal was Neto's fault, because if Neto was in the 18-yard box, Neto will save that ball, because Danjuma would have cut in and done the same thing, and Neto would be saving that ball. So Partey did enough to get Danjuma to cut in and shoot the ball the way he shot it. Neto should have been in the right position. So I won't blame Partey. I think I'll give him a 7. Yeah, I think he deserves a 7. Won the penalty, played in right back, out of position, and still held his own. So
Yeah, bro, it's done. My man, John Duran, here we go.
nice. That means Ollie Watkins is not leaving. They're not going to sell to strikers in one window. They're not that desperate. Why didn't we go for John Duran? Duran.
Okay. The center backs, I'm just gonna give them 7s.
777 is the
7
number.
for Calafiori. Moreno. Everyone's talking about Moreno. They're saying he doesn't get involved. He doesn't get much passes. He created 2 chances today.
Everybody they just see, there's something I realized about Arsenal fans. Even if we beat a team 6-0, they're going to try and scapegoat somebody. It's just nonsense. Sometimes just enjoy the game for what it is. We're never going to be 100% perfect on the pitch in every single game. What we should care about is that the team is not a quitting team and that they win every game, because sometimes you're just off. And I think Mikel Merino had a decent game, so I'll give him a 7. Give him a 7. I think he had a decent game. I mean, barring Raheem Sterling in this team today, who missed the penalty. I think he gets a 6 for me for missing the penalty. He had a decent 5-6 game. He had a 5.56 for me. But the penalty is what would drop it down. So missing the penalty, I mean, just take it and win, make it a 3-1 win. It's not like we need 3-1. 2-1 was enough for us to go through, but 3-1 would have sounded better because it's Girona and we should be better than them.
All right. What's the next one? Do you wanna talk about the midfield?
Midfield, Martin Odegaard, I think I'll give him a 7. He did what Martin Odegaard
A
does.
lot of people are on his
7.
case. A lot of people are on his case, bro.
People need to get off his case. He's doing what he's supposed to do. What are they expecting? Like, it's almost like everybody wants every player on the team to do the exact same thing. Like they would blame Odegaard because he's not shooting from outside the box. Then they'll blame Jorginho because he's not shooting. Like, dude, everybody has a different role to play. All your fingers are not equal. They're different for a reason, so that when they come together, they're stronger. Odegaard is doing what he needs to do. Other players are doing what they need to do for us to be able to get the win and get it over the line. And that's what's important. So this idea that Odegaard is doing nothing and it's just a lie, because the stats say differently. When we didn't have him in the team, we know how we suffered. Yes, we did. So how can you say in one vein when Odegaard was injured for about 2 months. Oh, we miss him, and then he's back. Oh no, he's not creating anything. But yet we're not losing games when he's there. Like it doesn't. Yeah, they really just want to see that the players are 100% in every game, and that's not possible. They're human, you know.
You know what? You're right, bro. I'll give it to you. Odegaard. People were saying Odegaard was bad today, also.
Yeah, he's not creating anything because this season that hasn't been what he's been tipped to do. He's dropping deeper and being the metronome. He's the one who drops deep. Now, look at how many times he dropped deep today to receive the ball and distribute the ball. Receive the ball, play forward passes. Receive the ball, play forward passes. He's not the one doing the assist this season. Bukayo Saka, who we were tipping on the right-hand side, who's injured now, in 17 games, or how many games did he play? 17 games, already had a 15 GA, which was 10 assists and 5 goals, which is what Bukayo Saka was there for. So this you just watch the game, study the game, know exactly what each player is doing before you beat them over the head with the wrong. It's like trying to beat up a primary school kid on the head with a university student's question, like, well, you don't know the answer to this. Like, that's not his job. That's not what he's on the team to do this season.
Ethan gets an 8. Ethan gets an 8. Trossard gets a 7. Sterling gets a 6.
Sterling gets a 5 for me, man. For like the 5 is because he missed the penalty. Well, he had a 6 game, but missing a penalty like that should boost your confidence. And you decide to lose that, then hey.
I'm not gonna give Rice and George and Martinelli any ratings. Havertz was okay. Mazu Skelly was okay. 6s. Timber came on, he was solid. I'll give him a 7. Cool?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. We wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Love for the love, people, as you guys already know, always. And yeah, we'll catch you on the football terrace. And Deo, I need to get you on a stream with Hamza, because that guy's shameless as shit. Anyways, we're out of here, people. Catch you guys on the next video. Love.
All right, man.